I'm Kaylee Smith, and I chose to do my pathway project on veterinary medicine because I hope to attend vet school once I finish my 4-year degree. So there are many different types of vets. You have marine vets who work with sea life, nutritionists, researchers, equine vets, big and small animals, and there are many others, but we're just going to be looking at a few different key aspects of the job as a whole. So starting off with salary, so different factors can determine pay. Location, where your practice is it good for what you specialize in? If you specialize in big animals, you wouldn't necessarily want your practice in the middle of New York City because that clientele is just not going to be there. Demand of services, is there a need for vets in your area where you're located? Your area of specialization. So do you work with big animals, like little animals? Are you in research, nutrition? Those definitely will determine your pay. And then your state of residence and cost of living. So if you live in New York City, you might get paid more, but it is significantly more expensive to live there than if you lived, say, in Florida. It's going to be cheaper to live there, and you might not get paid as much, but it will balance itself out. Starting annual salary can be usually from $50,000 and up, which coming out of graduate school is pretty good. And top tier veterinarians can earn up to $200,000. They normally work in research or nutrition, pharmaceuticals, any area like that. Then educational requirements. Vet school is a 4-year graduate program. An undergraduate degree is not required. It is encouraged though. And there are requirements for vet school. And I got these requirements from NC State because that's the vet school I hope to go to. And so their requirements are 200 hours of vet experience. So whether this is in a clinic, volunteering, anything you can count hours with working with animals. 2 to 3 hours of letters of recommendation. And they do advise that you get these from vets that you've worked with. A 3.0 GPA is the minimum for what you need to get in, and that's for in-state students. For out-of-state students, I believe it's a 3.4, but it is a very competitive program to get into. And then there are some required courses such as microbiology, genetics, animal nutrition, and a few other classes. And that's where having that undergraduate degree comes in handy because then more than likely you've already taken all those classes, so you don't have to worry about taking them. And then a degree in a science-related program is not required. The interview I did with my vet, she knew of people who were coming in with degrees in political science, library science, criminal justice. So you don't have to work in science to be able to work in the animal field. Job majors. So STEM majors are the most commonly seen. You have your science, math, engineering, technology. So obviously science and math are very important for vet school. Technology, there's lots of technology, and then engineering you would see a lot in the pharmaceutical aspect. Applicable majors are animal science, biology, veterinary technology, veterinary science, and those are just to name a few. Animal science and biology are their own undergraduate degrees that you can attain. Veterinary technology and science are much more concentrated in the classes you'll be taking. Then we come to employment. So most vets do start out in a clinic or in a hospital, guided by other vets, training, learning how to do their job. And so once they've gained experience and become a lot more comfortable, a lot of vets change their paths to work in other animals. Like I said, nutrition, research, pharmaceuticals, anything like that. So job opportunities outside clinical practice are research positions. And that could be researching disease, food, medication, public health between people and animals. So looking at diseases that can be passed from animals to people, how we live in harmony with animals, and then pharmaceuticals, obviously working with medicine for animals. Then a military veterinarian, that's another great option. You can go in the military. I think most branches have this. You can go in the military and be a vet. I believe you are required to commit about 5 years of service before you can do that. But then you can work with the military animals, like the canine unit, and I go overseas. So that's a really great option. And then teaching. Teaching is a great way to give back. And so going into colleges, teaching this new students in vet school. Vets can also be employed to analyze animals and animal products used for food. So That would be like chickens and pigs and cows, anything that us as humans would consume. They analyze to make sure there's no disease and that everything is up to regulation. Then required skills. So business skills are needed to run a private clinic. You have to be able to pay bills, you have to be able to pay employees, you have to be able to order supplies, anything that would need to be done in a business way. Management skills, you have to be able to manage the employees, you have to be able to manage the animals and manage the clinic and just manage everyday things that go on. And then good communication and social skills. So you have to be able to talk with the owners and find out what the problems are, because I mean, even though your patients are animals, they can't talk, they can't tell you what's wrong, they can't tell you where it hurts. So you have to really be able to talk with the owner and find out what's going on, and then be able to make a plan that is good for the owner and it helps the animal. So in conclusion, veterinary medicine is a very popular choice in the animal field. Salaries can range from $50,000 to $200,000. Education requirements are going to be different for every school. Job majors are usually the STEM majors. Employment can range from clinic work to research and everything in between. And then your required skills are usually business management and social skills. Those are some really great ones to have. So thank you, and I hope you enjoy it.